Hey there, welcome. Let me ask you something. Have you ever really stopped to listen? I don't mean to the noise outside, but to the quiet inside. Today, we're going on a bit of a journey to find a totally different kind of sound. It's like a hidden river, a vibration that ancient wisdom says flows inside every single one of us. It's called Nāda yoga, and honestly, it could change the way you listen to everything, especially yourself. I mean, just think about your average day. It's just full of noise, isn't it? You've got traffic, the constant ping of notifications, chatter all around you. But what if I told you that underneath all of that, there's this deep inner sound just waiting for you to find it? A sound that has nothing to do with the outside world at all. Okay, so how in the world do we find this thing, this inner river of sound? Well, here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to uncover the ancient source of this whole idea. Then we'll get into the difference between the noise we're all used to and this inner music. We'll figure out how to tune our inner ear, what it actually feels like to ride this sound current, and this is the important part. I'll share some super simple practices you can start doing today. And finally, we'll see where this river ultimately leads. Right, first things first, where does this whole idea even come from? This inner river of sound. It sounds kind of new agey, right? But you'll be surprised. It's not a new trend at all. It's actually rooted in a very specific ancient text that lays out the entire path for us. And this right here is the heart of the whole thing. This verse is basically the source code for the entire practice. And it makes a really bold promise that by getting totally immersed in this inner sound, which they call Nāda, we can attain Brahman. Now, Brahman is a huge concept, right? But for our purposes, just think of it as, well, the ultimate reality, the source of literally everything. So what does it mean to connect with that through sound? Let's dig in. So this brings us to a key idea called Śabdabrahman. I know, it's a Sanskrit term, but stick with me. The concept is actually pretty straightforward. It's the idea that the entire universe, when you get right down to it, isn't made of solid stuff. It's all just vibration. It's energy. Imagine a giant, cosmic hum that's always on. That hum is the eternal pulse of consciousness itself. And Nāda yoga, that's just the practice of learning how to hear it. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. The ancient wisdom makes this super important distinction. See, not all sound is the same. There's the noise we make, and then there's the music that's always been there. The sound we're actually looking for is called Anāhata Nāda. And that word, Anāhata, is so cool. It literally means unstruck. So we're talking about a sound that happens without anything hitting anything else. It's not a drum being hit or a guitar string being plucked. It just is. It's this spontaneous, constant vibration that's happening inside you right now. So let's break that down. You've got struck sound on one hand. That's, well, pretty much everything we usually call sound. My voice right now, clapping your hands, music from your speakers, all of it. It's temporary, it's external, it's created by an impact. But the unstruck sound, the Anāhata, that's the complete opposite. It's internal, it's always there, it's eternal, and it just vibrates on its own. The whole point of this practice is to shift our focus from all that external noise to this internal vibration. Okay, so I know what you're probably thinking. If the sound is always buzzing away inside me, how come I can't hear it, like right now? And that is a fantastic question. The short answer is our inner listening equipment just needs a little bit of tuning. The ancient text has this amazing term for this, Pātrakarṇe. It translates to the competent ear. And I just love that. The idea is that our awareness is kind of like an old radio dial. Most of the time, we've got it tuned to the loud, crackly static of the outside world. To hear the music, that subtle inner sound, we have to very deliberately and carefully turn that dial inward, away from the static. And the best part? It's a skill. Anyone can learn to do it. So let's say you do it. You tune in. What happens then? What does this inner sound actually feel like? Well, the text doesn't describe it as just some single, boring note. Nope. It's a current. A powerful, moving current. And they use two really beautiful Sanskrit words to describe this. The first one is abhagna sabde, which basically means the sound is completely uninterrupted. It just flows, no breaks, no pauses. And the second word is saradrute, which literally means a rushing river. What a great image, right? The idea is that once you connect with this sound, it doesn't just sit there. It actively pulls your consciousness along, like a strong river current carrying a leaf. And get this, it's not just one sound. It's more like a whole symphony going on inside. As you really start to concentrate, you begin to notice these different layers. You might start by hearing something clear and distinct, like a handbell. But as you listen even closer, you might pick up on something more subtle and melodic, like a flute. Then, maybe an even more refined vibration, like a stringed instrument. And finally, you might tune into the deepest, most pervasive sound of all, a continuous, gentle hum, almost like the buzz of a bee. All right, I can hear you now. This all sounds great, but how do I actually do any of this? How do we take this ancient philosophy and make it a real, practical thing in our crazy modern lives? Let's get right into it. But wait, before we jump into the how-to, there's one really important mindset piece we need to talk about. The text uses this word, Niṣṇāta, and it's brilliant because it has this double meaning. On one hand, it means you gotta know your stuff, be well-versed. But it also means to be well-bathed, to be totally soaked in the experience. It's like you can't just read a book about swimming and expect to know how. You gotta actually jump in the water. So here it is, your first super simple, totally doable step. I call it a digital sunset. It's easy. For just 10, maybe 15 minutes a day, you turn off all the struck sounds. All of them. Phone off, music off, TV off, no talking. Think of it as basic training for your inner ear. When you create that little pocket of external silence, you're giving your competent ear, your Pātrakarṇe, a chance to actually hear those subtle vibrations inside. Okay, so once you start catching that little inner hum in your quiet moments, the next step is to bring it with you. As you're going about your day, walking, working, whatever, just gently check in with yourself. Just ask, hey, is that hum still there? Try to let it become this gentle background score to your life. That's how you truly get deeply bathed in the sound. So, where is this river taking us? What's the final destination of this journey? This is where it all comes together, the really profound part of this whole practice. The final stage is all about something called laya, which means absorption. And you can think of it as this simple 3-step art of forgetting. Step 1, you concentrate completely on the nāda, that inner sound. Step 2, as you do that, you'll just naturally start to forget about the outside world. And finally, step 3, you just let go. You get lost in that beautiful internal sound. So what's on the other side? What happens when you get completely absorbed? The result is something called cittadakasa, and it's described as this vast, endless space of pure consciousness. You're not just hearing the sound of reality anymore, you're merging with it. And that right there is the attainment of Brahman that we talked about at the very beginning. And this brings our metaphor full circle, doesn't it? That rushing river of sound, the Saridrute, it just naturally flows into this huge, boundless ocean of consciousness, the cittadakasa. And the most beautiful part of all, this whole epic journey, it doesn't require you to go anywhere or do anything. You just have to learn how to listen deeply. So, here's the bottom line. That inner river, that current of consciousness, it's flowing inside you right now. It always has been and it always will be. So the only real question left is, are you ready to tune in and listen?